First with breaking news. First with new information. Plus, your first alert forecast. 19 News starts now.
Hot, humid, sticky. It will be uncomfortable for a lot of people, and it's only going to get worse before this gets any better. Thanks for joining us. I'm Brian Duffy. Nikki is off tonight. Brutal temperatures coming our way. Meteorologist Erica Page joins us now. And Erica, how long is this heat that we're going to see going to hang on?
Yeah, so the high temperatures, they're going to be here through at least the middle part of the week. Problem is, you're still going to have a lot of that humidity that's on hand, and that may linger even beyond some of these higher heat days that we will have over the next few days. Yes, your temperature may improve some by the weekend, but it's still going to be pretty humid out there. So the combination of the two is what prompts those 19 first alert weather days. It's also what prompts the National Weather Service to put out some of these heat alerts for you. So you technically have two different ones. You've got heat advisories. That's the peach-colored counties that you see, and then this extreme heat warning. What exactly is the difference? Well, the difference is really just the threshold as to how hot that temperature will feel. For a heat advisory, we're talking a feels like factor up to 104, the extreme heat warning up to 107. So again, it's not much of a difference. It's going to be hot no matter how you kind of slice it here across Northeast Ohio, and that's just going to remain very consistent through about Thursday. And we were even talking about this last week, that these were going to be the three worst days, and then we were going to start to see a little bit of relief in that feels like factor once we get into the end of the week and headed into the weekend. But we've got to get through a lot of this high heat first, and remember, it's heat that a lot of us have not experienced since last year, essentially. So it has been a while that our bodies have not really had an opportunity to get used to that. Where can you find some relief? Well, if you're right up by the lakeshore, you may get lucky and see the lake breeze move on shore. That's exactly what's happened, and it's kind of hanging out here between about Shaker Heights, the Parma area, and out towards Elyria. Cooler to the north and still hot and steamy a little farther to the south. We'll walk you through some more numbers on how warm it's going to get coming up here in just a few minutes.
So if you need to get out of the heat, there are several cooling centers open around Cleveland that are there to help you out. All of the neighborhood rec centers you see on your screen are open from 11:30 to 5 this week. Also, the city pools are open noon to 7. Admission is free. Well, you know, there are more than a few people upset about a housing situation when your congressman person gets involved. That's what's happening in an apartment complex in Akron where hundreds are demanding help. Our Harry Boomer is live in Akron after he spoke with the rep and residents about the squalor they say they are living in. Harry.
Well, Brian, looks can be deceiving. The Spring Hill apartments here in Akron, they look really good from the outside, but living conditions inside are a different story, according to some who live there. There are hundreds of units in the buildings that make up the Spring Hill apartment complex located on Everton Drive off of Vernon Odom in Akron.
We've had cockroach infestation so bad that the mail stopped coming. Had bed bugs so bad that people had to throw all these stuff out.
Not exactly an inviting environment to enter, so we didn't. Tenants living in the building that make up the complex says the conditions have gotten so bad they've had to reach out to their Congresswoman, Emilia Sykes, all the way in Washington.
There have been infestations of rodents and insects. Even got to a point where the Postal Service refused to deliver or pick up mail for the residents there, obviously causing issues.
The company that owns Spring Hill has received millions of dollars in federal subsidies. They are from out of town, and we were not able to reach them. Congresswoman Emilia Sykes recently sent a letter to the Department of Housing and Urban Development, HUD, demanding answers and help.
We gave them a deadline of last week, and they have failed to meet that deadline. So it leaves residents and some of my constituents in limbo as they're just simply trying to find a safe, adequate place to lay their heads at night. There's a lack of humanity in considering that people are living in filth.
Kenneth Burris lives at Spring Hill. He's a handyman doing what he can to support his young daughter.
They got black mold. It was a couple situations to where we had water damage and then it leaked down. We had mildew everywhere. I had to actually get rid of my couch and my bed, so I'm trying to get up out of here now.
Congresswoman Sykes says the tenants who live here deserve better, and she's calling on HUD to help. This fight for safe, clean living conditions is not over. At Spring Hill, near Vernon Odom, I'm Harry Boomer, 19 News.
Okay, Harry, thank you for that. An entire neighborhood still trying to get their lives in order, and it's going to take some time after a gas explosion destroyed 3 homes, damaged more than 30 others. Catherine Huntley is live in that neighborhood for us. And Catherine, I'm sure a lot of people in that area could really use some help right now. What is out there for them?
Yeah, well, the Red Cross was actually on scene here right after this happened, and those are all volunteers who are here. They tell me they were able to help 10 people so far out of this neighborhood following the blast, and I actually just spoke with the Twinsburg Township can reach out for help and receive it as well.
I kind of looked around and saw that our windows had been pushed in through the front, and then I looked out the window and saw fire everywhere, including coming out of the storm sewers. And once we saw that, I yelled at my son that we just need to get the dog and get out.
Neighbors shaken after a gas explosion on Thursday rocked an entire neighborhood. Today, the road to the cul-de-sac where the explosion happened still closed. The damage hard to comprehend. Crews are working to make the area safe, and investigators are trying to determine what caused the blast. Last week, families grabbed what they could and left home. The Red Cross has helped 10 people impacted by this explosion so far.
We connected with those families that were impacted, started to assess those needs, and really within the first few hours after this happens, we're starting to determine what kind of support we can provide and what these individuals need right away.
The Red Cross doesn't just give financial assistance for a hotel stay or for necessities after a disaster. They also follow up to help these families on their road to recovery.
When everything is over and you're kind of processing all that's happened, our mental health volunteers will call you and just kind of say, what do you need? How can we help? And just talk you through the whole experience, which of course is something that's vitally important.
The Red Cross says they're always taking donations and volunteers. Also, any families who need Red Cross support following this gas explosion can still reach out. The Red Cross assistance is provided free of charge. Now, I spoke with one man whose family is out of their home for the foreseeable future. He told me that the Red Cross's help was the first that had a real positive and uplifting effect on his family following the blast. Now, the Twinsburg Township manager is expected to send us a list of ways people can give help to the people who are struggling here in Twinsburg Township, but how people here in Twinsburg Township can also receive it. We are expecting that list of resources by this evening. For now, live in Twinsburg Township, Catherine Huntley, 19 News.
Okay, Catherine, thank you. And an already busy and construction slowed commute into downtown Cleveland is about to get worse. And it will start tonight with the closure of the ramp at East 9th Street. ODOT telling us it will now close the ramp off of 90 eastbound tonight at 9. Now, this is all part of the larger Central Interbelt Improvement Project. We're told this part of the job will continue through October, and there could be even more closures downtown this summer.
Please slow down. Give yourself plenty of time to get to your destination. We know the greatest factor for crashes in work zone is following too close to the vehicle in front of you. So give plenty of room to that vehicle in front of you. And check ohgo.com, or download the app, and you can see traffic cameras, real-time traffic speeds, and so much more. It'll help you be prepared for your morning commute.
ODOT suggests taking Ontario, then turning right on to Carnegie to East 9th, but that's going to be busy too. So there are multiple ways if you know your way in and around downtown. It's all part, this is, of a new ramp and bridge support system of the Cleveland Interbelt. 16-year-old wanted for rape in Cleveland Heights was taken into custody this morning by U.S. Marshals. Police say Dalen Matthews attacked a woman at gunpoint earlier this month near Cedar and Lee. Marshals found him hiding out in a home on Ottawa Road in Cleveland. U.S. Marshals now focused on finding this guy, John LaForte. He's wanted for burglary and abduction charges. He's known to hang out in Cleveland and sometimes in Lorain. If you have any information on where he might be, your tip can stay anonymous. The Lake County man who pleaded guilty to abusing his ex-girlfriend's baby will spend the next 15 years in prison. The little girl named McKenna was just 7 months old when she was taken to the emergency room with a brain bleed and several other injuries. Her grandmother addressed the court this morning, begging the judge for a maximum sentence.
Every single one of these injuries was ruled NAT, non-accidental trauma. which means they were not accidents. They were deliberately inflicted by the pure evil monsters that were supposed to care and nurture her when she was too small and helpless to care for herself.
I am deeply sorry for what happened. I should have been better. I know I could have done better. I'm glad that McKenna is okay.
Yeah, but McKenna is not okay, according to the family. She can no longer walk. She cannot eat on her own. She's got a feeding tube. She's legally blind from her injuries. Again, Cameron Dreyer given the maximum sentence of 15 years. President Trump says patience with Iran could wear out, but for now, he says peace talks with that regime will move forward.
Traffic in the Strait of Hormuz has slowed dramatically following a weekend of back-and-forth attacks between the U.S. and Iran. Iran launched missile and drone strikes at American bases in the region, which were shot down. The U.S. targeted Iranian military sites near the Strait of Hormuz, which the Pentagon says were a response to attacks on tankers in the strait.
There were attacks on commercial vessels that the United States of America, directed by the president, responded to, and that will continue to happen, but we hope we don't see that. The president obviously wants to see the peace process play out.
President Trump announced on social media that the Iranians have asked for a meeting in Doha, which will take place on Tuesday, while Al Jazeera reports the Iranian Foreign Ministry is saying it won't hold any negotiations with the American side in the coming days.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio and the president's special envoy Steve Witkoff are briefing lawmakers today on the talks.
Some in Congress don't see the Iranian regime ever agreeing to a final deal.
I just simply don't trust the Iranian leadership, the mullahs, to live up to their commitments.
Since the signed memorandum of understanding, the U.S. and Iran have met only once for the talks earlier this month in Switzerland. Nana Santiago-Bonsu, CBS News, the White House.
Well, with the World Cup underway, fans are spending thousands to see their teams play in person. But as demand soars, so does the risk, of course, of ticket scams. As CBS's Nicole Valdez reports, some fans are learning that buying a ticket should, but doesn't always, guarantee a seat.
World Cup tickets are hitting all-time high prices this year, with some seats selling for tens of thousands of dollars. But some are paying even more, dealing with chaos and confusion after trying to snag a seat, especially from third-party vendors.
I don't want to overstate this, but it's probably the most frustrating experience I've had in the last 10 years.
Rodrigue Alexander bought tickets for his family to see Haiti play on Father's Day weekend.
My father's Haitian, and when I saw that Haiti made the World Cup, I was thrilled. In early April, got confirmation that the tickets were there, and I said, great, I'm going to a match.
But when they got to Philadelphia Stadium, he realized the seats weren't actually theirs yet.
There were a bunch of other steps that needed to be done between StubHub and FIFA.
So close to kickoff, neither app seemed to be working properly. He saw dozens of other fans dealing with the same issue.
This wasn't well represented by StubHub. StubHub can sell you a ticket, but it's not transferred to you until it's officially done through FIFA.
Rodrigue and his dad never got into the Haiti-Brazil match.
There was a moment that I wanted to experience and I didn't get it, and I can't assign a monetary value to that.
Now, Rodrigue did get a refund, but many others won't. In fact, security experts are warning fans about those third-party resellers and scammers.
We always see the scammers coming out of the woodwork. Now, with the prices of these tickets, that adds a special twist.
The FBI has documented dozens of fake websites pretending to sell tickets.
FIFA Tix, FIFA Online. No, the only legitimate website is FIFA.com.
Experts also warn of reservation scams, travel document scams, and knockoff memorabilia, urging fans to keep their eyes on the ball so scammers won't have a shot. Nicole Valdez, CBS News.
Let's get to this now. A 19 health alert for people taking GLP-1s. Make sure you stay extra hydrated as the temps rise. While the drug doesn't directly cause dehydration, side effects like diarrhea and nausea cause your body to lose water. So you need to continue to rehydrate. Experts say to start drinking water first thing in the morning and then take small sips throughout the day. Don't wait until you're actually thirsty to start.
GLP-1 medications delay gastric emptying. So that means that food moves through our digestive system slower, making us feel more full and less thirsty. And again, that's what these medications are supposed to do. But that may cause us to, again, eat less and also drink less.
Signs of dehydration include dark urine, dizziness, maybe even your heart will start racing. If you can't keep water down, make sure you see a doctor right away. Time for your top 4 at 4. One of the men convicted of fatally shooting a 20-year-old Painesville man has been sentenced to 70 years to life for his role in the murder. Avion Gaines was found guilty of hunting down William Sheffey last summer. The judge said Gaines treated the streets of Painesville like a video game, chasing Sheffey around the city until he was pinned in one area and he was then murdered in cold blood. 3 other men were also charged in that shooting. Demolition is now underway on a decades-old environmental hazard in Cleveland. The Ohio Department of Health allocated nearly $12 million to demolish and clean up the former Advanced Medical Systems facility. It was on London Road in the Collinwood neighborhood. The site manufactured medical radiation equipment before being abandoned in the late 1990s. It has since been a source of contamination concerns. ODOT will close the 90 eastbound ramp to East 9th Street coming into downtown at 9 o'clock tonight. Now, you're probably saying, wait a minute, it was originally supposed to close this morning, but for some reason they delayed this. Again, this is the 9th Street exit. If you're coming eastbound on 90, it is one of the busiest in the city. Expect a lot of delays in the morning. The nearest option, of course, although it will be jammed, is to take the Ontario Street exit. There are other options, but they may take you further out of your way. Give work crews some rooms. We show you crashes like this one way too often. This was on State Route 237 North at the 480 East ramp last week. In this case, the sign said the left lane was closed, but the driver didn't make it over to the right before slamming into the safety equipment on the blinking arrow sign. Now, as you can see, it destroyed the front end of that car. Airbags were deployed. We do not know how badly, if at all, the people inside this car were hurt. Some tough questions right now for Mansfield's police chief after an officer punches a 68-year-old man repeatedly during a traffic stop. We already showed you body cam video of that incident. Now, 19 investigator Mike Mason presses the chief on why he accepted the officer's report without first reviewing that video.
Mansfield police officer Joshua Adamescu pulled over this truck on May 20th around 1:30 a.m. He said the driver, Dreama Henderson, was blocking the intersection.
Okay, you stopped on the stop bar, okay?
Calvin Caldwell was in the passenger seat. 15 minutes later, he was in an ambulance.
He been to beat me, pulling my... Bro, you mother... Yeah, like, bro, this dude could have killed me, man.
The 68-year-old claims Adamescu punched him repeatedly for no reason, but the officer reported that Caldwell punched him first. We wanted to know what Chief Jason Bauman had to say about it.
I have not reviewed that video, and I do that for integrity, obviously. Okay. I let my supervisors do their job.
But I had seen the video, and I walked him through what was on it.
He hands his ID over. He says, I'll hold it, like that, like he's not going to give it to him, the officer. And the officer snatches it out of his hand. Calvin snatched it right back out of his hand. He, clearly on the video goes after Calvin and starts trying to pull him out of the car, out of the truck, like this.
The driver, Dreama Henderson, remembers it well.
He was shaking him so hard and pulling on him so hard, the whole truck was shaking. He just started wailing on him. He was punching him in the face and head with closed fist punches, striking him in his face and head. I told him, get off of him. Why are you on him like that? He didn't do anything to you.
The chief defended the officer's account, saying Caldwell punched Adamescu first.
Mr. Caldwell did strike Officer Adamescu in the face.
But Caldwell says that's not true.
Do you think I'm that stupid?
Even without reviewing the video, the chief accepted the officer's report.
Police report said that he was struck in the face.
Okay, so...
That's factual.
According to your officer?
And my officers don't lie. That's factual.
On the video, tell me where he strikes the officer, because I can't see that on the video.
I have not reviewed the video.
Despite the chief's claim that Caldwell struck the officer, Caldwell wasn't arrested and charged with a crime. I wanted to know why.
Why wouldn't they arrest him and charge him immediately if he struck an officer?
For that felonious assault?
Yeah.
It's custom that we send those over and we try not to convolute to jail.
You just don't want to send him to jail that night?
Yeah.
Okay.
So the department refers felony charges to the prosecutor instead of making arrest on scene. The prosecutor told us they referred the case to the city law director, who only handles misdemeanors. The law director says there are currently no charges pending against Caldwell. Meanwhile, he's hired an attorney and plans to sue the department.
Unfortunately, uses of force are a common thing in law enforcement. It's not something that we want.
But Caldwell says the officer's force was more than excessive.
This is brutal! Cruel and unusual punishment. Man, look, this here, you'll see the swelling. It's all swollen up. Like that. It was that big.
Bauman says the department's use of force review is still ongoing, and he blames Caldwell for what happened, not his officer.
Sir Caldwell should have probably just sat in the passenger seat, and the officer probably wouldn't have asked for his identification.
So you don't think that Officer Adamescu escalated the situation?
According to the police report, Mr. Caldwell is the one that started the initial contact with the officer.
Things like this shouldn't get escalated to somebody getting beat on.
Adamescu is still on patrol. The police chief says he declined our request for a comment. Meanwhile, we found this is not the first time he's been accused of using excessive force. We'll have more on that in our next report. Mike Mason, 19 News.
Now your 19 First Alert forecast. Certified most accurate since 2004.
All right, high heat. That is what we are watching, along with a lot of humidity across the area. The combination of the two leading us to a couple 19 First Alert weather days. We've got heat advisories and extreme heat warnings that go into effect at noon tomorrow and will last until 8 p.m. on Thursday. After that point, we should start to see these air temperatures coming down a little bit, which will, of course, then help how that feels like temperature will be across Northeast Ohio. But just in addition to kind of where we're sitting with the feels like factor, you'll notice that all across Northeast Ohio, records are pretty much in this low to mid 90-degree territory, which is very close to where our air temperature will be, likely for the next couple of days. So there could be some spots that tie or maybe even break some records headed into tomorrow. The one limiting factor we may have is just the humidity and how that keeps sometimes your temperature from getting as warm as you might otherwise think it could. Temperatures tomorrow, again, well within that ballpark. I think lower to middle 90s is where we're going to rest. And again, it is going to be quite humid. We'll talk about when some relief could be on the way coming up here in just a few minutes.
An Elyria man will spend 2 years in prison for carjacking a woman, then leading police on what they said was a very dangerous chase. Prosecutors say Desmond Lewis stole a car at gunpoint in February, then ran from officers, police say, until his car broke down on U.S. Route 20. He was driving the wrong way on the highway during the chase and refused, they said, to give up for 30 minutes. Luckily, no one was hurt. A race against time as the window narrows to find survivors after last week's deadly back-to-back earthquakes in Venezuela. More than 1,400 people are dead, and tens of thousands are still missing. New images show the extent of the devastation in the northern coast. Search and rescue teams from around the world are on the ground, including multiple groups from the United States. Volunteers are collecting donations to help with relief efforts.
We know that there's no way to get there, but we're doing our best. Even if it's water, it's food, it's love, it's a hug, whatever, we're here for you.
Relief organizers say cash is the most effective thing that they could use to help out here. But the feds warn you should always look out for scammers and verify the legitimacy of a charity before you donate.